Bruce, you must have something really good too.
Of course I do. It's Bruce Danielson, and I guess I'm here to entertain you too.
Good evening, and welcome to the Carnegie Town Hall. This meeting of the City Planning Commission will begin with a few introductory remarks. The City of Sioux Falls Planning Commission serves as an advisory board to the City Council. It is the responsibility of the Planning Commission to consider and make recommendations on land use and zoning matters. Actions taken tonight on conditional use permits are final unless appealed to the City Council in writing within 5 days, and any actions taken tonight on initial development plans, alternative plans, or minor amendments are final. Any recommendations made on preliminary subdivision plan requests tonight will be referred to the City Council for final action at the third council meeting of this month, or at the first council meeting of the next month if associated with a rezoning or major amendment. Any recommendations made on rezoning requests, major amendments, future land use amendments, or ordinance amendments tonight will be referred to the City Council for final action at the first council meeting of next month. Council meetings are held the first 3 Tuesdays at 7 p.m. here in the Carnegie Town Hall and are televised. The Planning Commission will first approve the consent agenda and then the regular agenda. In order to place certain non-controversial items on the Commission's consent agenda, Planning staff and the Planning Commission apply the following criteria. First, the request conforms with the Shape Sioux Falls 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Second, Planning staff recommends approval of the request. Third, there are no audience members present or written comments received in opposition to the request. And fourth, the application meets all conditions and requirements of the Sioux Falls zoning ordinance. By approving the consent agenda, the Commission is approving the items on consent. Therefore, upon approval of the agenda, those members of the public in attendance for those items are free to leave. For the regular agenda, the following normal public hearing procedure will be followed for each item. By first requesting planning staff to present a brief report on that item. Second, the petitioner or a representative will be requested to come forward to make a statement or answer questions. After the petitioner has spoken, anyone from the audience who wishes to address the agenda item shall be recognized. Then the Planning Commission will discuss the matter further and take appropriate action. We ask that anyone addressing the Planning Commission move to the podium microphone to identify themselves for the record. Please limit your comments to less than 5 minutes and focus on new testimony not already presented. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, we ask that you please either turn off or silence your electronic devices. This meeting is being televised on CityLink and will be rebroadcast Saturday at 10 a.m., Friday at 7 p.m., and Wednesday at 1 a.m. Thank you for your cooperation. Good evening and welcome to Carnegie Town Hall. I call this meeting of the Sioux Falls Planning Commission to order. I would like to emphasize a couple of those items. Out of courtesy for everyone, please silence all electronic devices. We look forward to hearing testimony from everyone. And in an effort to have sufficient time for everyone, we ask you that you each limit your comments to no more than 5 minutes. And please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record so that we can know who we're speaking with. At this time, we will consider the consent agenda. Denise, please read the items.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Item 1, approval of the regular meeting minutes of November 5th, 2018. Item 2, November plats. Item 3A, petition 9453, 2018, rezone from the O Office District to the S1 General Institutional District for allowed forms located at the northeast corner of North Marion Road and West 5th Street. Item B, petition 9541, 2018, rezone from the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban District to the RT1 Single Family Residential Traditional District for allowed forms located at 414 South Lindale Avenue. Item C, petition 9571, 2018, rezone from the O Office District to the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District for allowed forms located at the southwest corner of East 69th Street and Bonson Avenue. Item D, petition number 9575-2018, rezone from the RT1 Single Family Residential Traditional District to the RT2 Townhome Residential Traditional District for allowed forms located at 611 and 621 East 14th Street. Item 4, consent agenda approval.
Okay, thank you. Are there any objections or comments that people would like to discuss with any of those items on the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none, I'd entertain commission action.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. If your item was one of those that's already been read, you're free to leave, but you're welcome to stay. The next item on our agenda is approval of the regular agenda. And entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the regular agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the regular agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Denise.
Item 6A, petition 9570-2018, conditional use permit for a full-service restaurant within 250 feet of a sensitive land use located at 500 East 69th Street.
Good evening. Jason Bieber representing Planning and Development Services. This is an application by Heinemann Hospitality. As you are aware, about 2 months ago, we rezoned this property from the O office district to the C2 commercial district. And they are looking to open a Looks Market in the existing Callaway's building and operate it as a full-service restaurant. The proposed full-service restaurant meets the criteria of the comprehensive plan. This is an existing commercial corridor with commercial uses, specifically on 69th in Minnesota. The previous use of the site, as I indicated before, has been used as a full-service restaurant and also a bar. Because the applicant has provided clarity to indicate the location, nature, and extent of the work proposed, and because the site in question was previously a full-service restaurant, staff does recommend approval of this application, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions from the commission? Seeing none, thank you, Jason. Is the petitioner here, or representative? Come forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Bo Vondra, 2316 South 4th Avenue. I have nothing more to add to it.
Nothing? Okay. Any questions from the commission?
Mr. Chair, we're all kind of quiet, and I just wanted to point out, selfishly, this is going to move Looks farther away from my house. And I'm not sure that's appropriate, but
It's only a mile and a half.
far be it for me to stand in the way of good progress. So, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or commentary?
It's going to be closer to me, though.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Hearing none? Thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, and entertain commission action.
Motion for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve this item. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, with the fact that we had a full-service restaurant already here, this just makes a lot of sense, and certainly quality of their past storefront should be quite a place.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 6B, petition 9584-2018, conditional use permit for on-sale alcoholic beverage establishment located within 500 feet of sensitive land use at 4701 West 12th Street.
The applicant here is Vic Patel. The applicant is proposing to open a casino in this existing food and fuel gas station and allow beer and wine consumption as part of his casino use. As you can see to the south, there is a sensitive land use, a manufactured home park, that's Marion Manor. and it's located on South Ruth. I did provide you with a copy of an email that we received late yesterday from the manager of Marion Manor with some concerns. Overall, I think his concerns were not so much with the casino, but if this establishment would open as a bar, he was concerned about that. I know the applicant has had some conversations with him, and if there's any more information, I'm sure he can provide that for you. The proposed on-sale alcoholic beverage establishment meets the criteria of the comprehensive plan. This is an existing arterial corridor with other commercial uses along West 12th Street. The proposed casino will be constructed inside this existing food and fuel gas station, and they will be required to construct the 12 parking spaces as required by the ordinance. And because the application has provided clarity to indicate the location, nature, and extent of the work proposed, and there's also kind of that parking lot for Hardee's that separates the two land uses, the residential with commercial uses, staff does recommend approval of this conditional use permit. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions from the commission?
Mr. Chair, Jason, are you aware, has this location, have they like removed the fuel tanks? It could no longer be a gas station?
I don't think they've removed the fuel tanks. I think that's their intent, and I'm sure the applicant can provide you with some more information on their construction timeline if this is approved.
Jumped the gun, sorry, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question, Jason. Would you comment on the question raised about the continued operation as a bar if the casino would be discontinued?
Yeah, as we deal with our zoning definitions, we deal with on-sale alcohol, not specifically a casino use. We kind of have our land use that we deal with is just strictly on-sale alcohol, and that can include bars, casinos. It can include some restaurants that serve alcohol. So what we're strictly looking at is it just being an on-sale alcohol establishment? The applicant has indicated that he wants to do a casino, but when he goes to council, then he'll get his license for the beer and wine, and then he'll actually get his video terminal license. But if it would transform into a bar, which it would be difficult with just the size of this building to do a bar there, he wouldn't need to, or they wouldn't need to come back in front of us.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here this evening? Come forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vic Patong. I reside at 9108 West Lakeside Drive.
Any other things to add to the commentary?
Yes,
or?
yes, sir. My intent fully is to have a casino within this building, and we would remove the underground tanks as well as the canopy, make it presentable for the 12th Street. I am not in a bar business. I have existing casinos, so I have no intentions of turning it into a bar.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Seeing none, thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, and entertain commission action.
Mr. Chair, motion for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item 6B. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, as stated before, this is an establishment that would be in an existing commercial corridor, 12th Street, with similar establishments, and so I think that it makes sense for this.
Any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor of approving item 6B signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 6C, Petition 9623, 2018, conditional use permit to allow accessory outdoor storage to be more than 10% of the total building square footage located at 5600 North Cliff Avenue.
Commissioner Albert Schmidt, Planning Office. So this conditional use permit, the applicant is Robbie Schulte, who's in attendance here. The request is to increase that over the 10% that's allowed. Without this, interstate sales is going to open up a new location at this facility, and with their plans that they're providing us, the percentage is much greater than 10%. It's actually 275%, but every property around there is a vacant property currently. because of the detail that they will provide us with the site plan and that information, the clarity, the nature, all that's been provided for us, so we recommend approval.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Seeing none, thank you, Albert. Is the applicant here this evening? State your name and address for the record, please.
Hello, Rob Schulte, 708 East 65th Street North, and I'd be happy to entertain any questions you may have.
Any questions from the commission? Seeing none, thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, and entertain commission action.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item 6C. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, just seeing no objections in the audience and with approval from the city, I see no reason to not approve this agenda item.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 6D, Petition 9628, 2018, Conditional Use Permit to allow accessory outdoor storage to be more than 10% of the total building square footage and not on a hard surface located at 4705 North Northview Avenue.
The applicant is Eric Wilson, who's in attendance today, can answer questions. But again, it's similar to the last one, over the 10%. This is current location of Northview campers. They're looking at providing additional area for storage of customer vehicles and such. As it says, it'll be unimproved as far as hard surface goes. The unpaved area and this fenced area will actually equal just over 1,600% of the building size. But given the location and the surrounding uses, and especially the location of where they're looking to put it in place, staff doesn't have any issues with that based on what the buffer yard requirements will be for trees, things like that, with the area that they have. And we're recommending approval. Sorry.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Seeing none, thank you, Albert. Is the petitioner here? Come forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Eric Willardson, Lund Engineering, 902 South Cleveland. Here tonight representing the owner of the property. As staff's indicated, this is essentially an expansion of the existing outdoor storage on the site. The applicant owner has agreed to provide the story or the screening required. The trees are already in place, and they're also, as indicated on the plan, are going to expand the paved area for the new camper sales by 200 by 250 feet. That's indicated on the site plan. That's been approved by staff, and with that, there's existing outdoor storage that surrounds the property, so if there's any questions, be happy to address.
Any questions from the commission? Seeing none, thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, and entertain commission action.
Motion for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item 6D. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I'd say, the neighbors are pretty much alike type properties, so makes sense to me.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes. Yes.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 6E, petition number 9635, 2018, conditional use permit to allow a non-conforming use of a contractor shop and storage yard located at 909 North Elmwood Avenue.
The applicant here, is Devin Burnham. This is an existing contractor shop business that's been here for quite a while. It's Top Hat and Tails Chimney Service. And what they're looking at doing is they're looking at constructing a new 34 by 42 foot building on the property. It's located at 909 North Elmwood Avenue. It's like I indicated before, it's an existing contractor shop, an existing light industrial business. They've been occupying this one-story office building and also a contractor shop building for some time. They also have some existing parking on the south and west sides. Top Hat and Tails and Chimney Service has successfully operated in the C2 commercial district for several years. If the expansion of the conditional use is approved, the company can construct and continue business as shown on the site plan. If the conditional use is denied, they would have to probably rezone the property to I-1 light industrial, and that would cause them some problems with their required setbacks and things, and would also probably not fit in well with the existing commercial zonings to the west and south. Because the application has provided clarity in the location, nature, and extent of the work proposed, and because the existing C2 commercial zoning is that best fit within that existing neighborhood, as I had indicated, staff does recommend approval of this conditional use permit. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, any questions from the commission?
Mr. Chair, I do have one clarifying question. Jason, can you go back to the one more? Okay, there. Is this one parcel or two parcels?
I believe it's one tax parcel. It may be two platted lots, but it's one tax parcel, so we treat it as one.
Okay.
Okay, other questions?
Mr. Chair, Jason, this may be more for the applicant, but did you say again there's an existing structure that's going to be taken down in favor of the larger new?
If you look kind of at this aerial, you see that small existing garage that he's using for a contractor shop just south of the house. Yeah, perfect. That will be removed, and then they will construct this larger contractor shop a little bit away from that west property line and still meeting setbacks of his zoning district. So.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here this evening? Come forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
Devin Burnham, 803 South Horizon Lane. And then kind of address your question, there's actually an attached garage and a freestanding garage. Both of those structures would come down. And basically what this will allow me to do is to fit everything inside, kind of more secure for me, more aesthetically pleasing for the neighborhood, and you know, more secure. It'll allow me a lot more flexibility. So.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for the clarity.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Okay. Any questions from the commission? Seeing none, thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'd entertain commission action.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item number 6E. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, it's an interesting parcel of ground that it's great that it can be used, so I'm just happy that it'll continue to be used.
Any other discussion?
And with our packet, there was one neighbor that said, hey, go for it. He thought it was a good idea. Help clean it up. So I think it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of item 6E, please signify by saying yes.
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 And opposed, no. Motion carries. Last item on our agenda is open mic for anyone in the audience who would like to speak to a non-agenda item. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to come forward and speak to a non-agenda item this evening?
Mr. Chair, I'm not from the audience, but I would like to welcome Albert to our commission meetings. You did a great job tonight.
You're here.
Boy, and you kept it under 5 minutes. Thanks, Steve. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward and speak to a non-agenda item this evening? Okay, seeing none.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. We are adjourned. Make it a great night, Sioux Falls.
Yes.